Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I know it's been about a month since I last posted one, but I've been out of town for a couple of weeks, and then I had a little bit of a cold when I got home. Nothing too serious, just a couple of days of my voice sounding a little bit different. So I know I've been out for a little bit, and the last time I did a video that was Ninja Turtles, it was Raphael, and you guys asked if I could do Michelangelo next, and so that's the one that we have here. So I know it's been a while, like I said, since I posted, but I'm doing the Michelangelo one now, and after I finish recording this one, I will do the Donatello figure, and then after that, I'm going to do Shredder, and after Shredder, we have the last one from this set, which is Splinter. So I've done Leonardo, and I've done Raphael, and so if you guys would like to see any of the other three between Splinter, Shredder, or Donatello after this one, if you have a preference for which one you want to see first, just leave a comment down below. So I know how to upload them. So I'm gonna go ahead and do these four. Got a couple Harry Potter figures I still need to unbox. Got a couple Dragon Ball Z figures I still need to unbox. And I have a few Batman ones as well. And then possibly a Spider-Man or two. So got quite a bit more left to unbox and show. And as always, if there's any specific figure you'd like to see, please leave a comment down below and I will do my best to try to get it and then unbox it on the channel for you. So with all that said, let's go ahead and jump into the Michelangelo figure. Just like the other two, we've got the classic art. Up here, the 4 turtles, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo. We've got our figure here with the set of weapons. And then on the back, we have about the turtles. So I'll just hold this here for a second if anyone wants to pause and kind of read through this. It's a cool little comic strip, basically just showing how the turtles came to be. We've got Shredder up here, and down here we have all the figures. So just a remake of the original 1988 figures. So a lot of fun, really cool collector's item. I'll go ahead and get this one out of the box. Really enjoyed the other two. I put them back in the box once I'm done with them. It's an easy way to store them, and so I'll do the same with this one. So we'll just carefully open this up with the knife to try to leave the packaging in as good a shape as possible. And hopefully from here we can just kind of lift up. There we go. And then we'll pop the figure out. So we have our little cardboard slip. Slide that right back in. Put the box off on the side. And then here is our figure. And then our weapons. So just a second while we take off the little plastic zip ties, kind of holding the figures in, and then we'll get into all the details and kind of displaying the figure. So we'll set that off to the side, and let's go ahead and pop him out. So let's go ahead and look at him before we get to the weapons. So we have the M here on his belt. Again, the head is a different material. It's like a soft matte finish from the body. It's not squishy, but it is different from this kind of hard plastic. So you can see here we've got the orange going all the way around. Good detail there on the shell. We can put the weapons right back in here and then take the belt off as well if we want. You can see the veins here on the muscles. Nice pop of orange on the elbow bands and the wristbands. And then same thing down here on the knee. It's a really cool figure. When I was a kid and I watched Ninja Turtles, Mikey was always my favorite, and I changed to Raphael over the years. Not really sure why the change took place, but always liked his humor, Michelangelo's humor, always good for a joke. And I really grew up on the, was it Foxbox, I think, that had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the, I think 2002 to 2004 was maybe the range that the show ran. But I've done another video, I believe, showing the figures from that collection, from that show. I hope you guys know which one I'm talking about. One second, when I get this zip tie off. They had a video game back then for the PlayStation 2, and I believe even for the Game Boy Advance. A pretty good show, and then once it got to the point where they found that little pink blob that was living inside of Shredder, It's like the turtles ended up going to space or something like that. And I think at that point, I kind of lost interest in the show. But eventually found my way back to the figures, just really for nostalgic purposes. So we'll set our plastic piece off to the side. And then let's get some of these weapons out. So usually on these weapons, you see the ninja stars, you get the actual turtles weapons. We got the nunchucks here, and then we have a couple of other items. I'm not really gonna pick off all of them. I'm gonna just try to get these main ones. So hopefully it come off pretty easy. You just kind of twist them or move around a little bit. We might pull off a little bit more of the plastic than we want. So let me show you here. We can see that little bit on the end. We can always go in with a little knife and just kind of cut that off. I'm gonna be careful I don't end up pulling the ends here apart. So that's kind of the important thing while you're doing this. And then here on the other side, we'll pull this behind the camera for just a second and then see if we can get it loose. And you guys can see here, just kind of try to move this piece little by little to loosen it to break off, because if you're not careful, you could end up breaking this piece, and then you don't really have the weapons to put in his hands. Now I think on the back of the box here, they have just one. So they have one, and they put each end into his hand. So if you're doing these and you happen to break off a little bit, it's not the end of the world. You can always just place the figure out the way they did on the box. And so you can even come in with a little knife and just kind of cut these plastic ends to get the weapons loose. So we got this one loose, and then we can fit this in his hand. See, it almost is better if we just go ahead and do one between the two hands. It's kind of like they have on the box. Let me see, so there's one. I mean, so, if you do it like this, it just kind of looks odd unless he's in a motion, kind of swinging them around. But if you do it like this, like they have on the box, it maybe looks a little bit better for display. So go ahead and stand that box up. And so now we can see the figure holding the weapon. And then we can take the other one, if we want, and maybe place it back here. That's gonna be tough because of this piece, but normally you cut this piece off and then just pop it right here in this slot. So I'm not gonna fool with that on the video, but I'll cut it off after the recording so it's easy just to store in the figure. Let's see if we can go ahead and stand him up, and then we'll bring the camera down so you can see what he looks like up close. We'll set the other weapon next to him and this piece. And then let's bring this down and see what he would look like on display. So there he is, the weapon. And then behind that, we have the box that the set comes in. Oops, just kind of fell back a little bit, but I've got to get one of those little rotating discs. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. You just put the figure on there and they'll spin around to give you a full view of the figure. I meant to get one, but just haven't gotten around to it. But there he is from up front, and there's his weapon. It's a really cool looking figure. And it looks great if you display them in front of the box. And then we have the Donatello figure coming up in the next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you have any questions about the figure, just leave a comment down below. And then we will have Donatello up here probably in a couple of days, and then wrap up the other figures as well. But if you prefer to see Shredder or Splinter before Donatello, just leave a comment down below and I can always change the order around. So thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you next time.